Can I tell you how I knew I was really an alcoholic? Check this. It wasn't because I drank every day. By the end, I did. It wasn't because I had a favorite drink or bottle. I did. It was Woodford Reserve. I knew I was really an alcoholic when alcohol started destroying my life slowly. And my first question was not, how do I stop? My first question was, how do I keep drinking without suffering the consequences? Somebody watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about because you're right there. You're not trying to get free. You're trying to negotiate a better deal with the thing that's enslaving you. You keep changing the rules. You change the liquor. You change the time you drink. You change the location you drink. You change the amounts you drink. You change the people you drink with. But you never change the one thing that's causing the destruction. If we're talking about me, I made so many rules that I should have known I was the problem. I wouldn't drink tequila at nightclubs because tequila made me violent. I switched from vodka to bourbon because I convinced myself that bourbon made me calmer. I would start my drinking days with wine because I knew I could drink more. And one triple Woodford, that would allow me to tell my wife that I only had one drink. That's not normal drinking, good people. That's an alcoholic mind protecting its supply. Sobriety forced me to learn some truths that I spent years, decades trying not to face. The first thing I learned is that alcohol wasn't my only problem. It was actually my solution. It was how I treated my insecurity. It was how I escaped the stress. It was how I avoided uncomfortable emotions. It was how I manufactured confidence when I didn't feel like enough. So when I removed the alcohol, my problems didn't just automatically disappear. The alcohol was gone, but the wounds were still there. And that's why some people stop drinking and still feel miserable. You remove the medication, but you have not faced what you needed to be medicating. Some sobriety isn't merely having to live life without alcohol, it's learning how to live life without running from yourself. The second thing I learned is that just one is never really just one. For an alcoholic, the first drink isn't merely a drink. It's a transfer of authority. Before that drink, I still have choices. But after it, alcohol starts making the choices for me. The first drink decides there should be another, and then a stronger one, and then one for the road, and then one when I get home. I kept telling myself that I needed better control. No. I needed to stop handing control of my life to alcohol. You can't keep touching the very thing that you're asking God to free you from and then act surprised when the chains tighten up again. The third thing I learned is that my feelings wouldn't destroy me. But constantly drinking to escape them, that would destroy me. I treated every uncomfortable situation with alcohol. Anxiety, drink. Anger, drink. Loneliness, drink. Embarrassment, drink. Celebration, drink. I didn't know how to feel a feeling without trying to change it. Sobriety taught me that discomfort, it rises, it peaks, but then it passes. I can be anxious without drinking. I can be angry without becoming destructive. I can have a bad day without turning it into a bad life. You don't have to obey every emotion that you experience. Moving on, the fourth thing that I learned is that honesty feels uncomfortable, but secrecy, it's deadly. My addiction grew whenever I could hide it. That's when it grew. It grew in my half-truths. It grew in missing details. It grew every time that I counted a triple as one drink. It grew every time that I said, I'm fine, when I knew I was actually falling apart. Healing began when that secrecy ended. Not when I put down the drink, not when I started sounding spiritual, not when I made another private promise to God that I would do better tomorrow. Healing started when I told the truth. Some of you keep asking God to heal the version of you that you perform in public. But the person who needs healing is that person that you keep hiding. Bring that man, that woman into the light. Number 5, I learned that sobriety doesn't make life easy. It gives you a clear mind, a fighting chance, and the strength to face life. The bills still come. Your marriage still requires work. That grief, it still hurts. People still disappoint you. You still have consequences from the decisions that you made while you were drinking. Sobriety doesn't remove every storm, good people. It stops you from drilling another hole into that boat every time it starts raining. I'm not cured. I'm just equipped. God gave me the clarity to recognize temptation, the humility to ask for help, and the strength to make the next right decision. That's what freedom looks like for me in my real life. It's not life without struggle. It's a life with a struggle where the drink doesn't own you anymore. Sixth thing, I learned that I don't need my old life back. For a long time, I wanted to become the version of me who could drink normally. But that man doesn't exist for me. I didn't need God to teach me how to return to the old life with better rules. I needed him to build something new, a new creation. And Jesus says in John chapter 8, verse 36, so if the Son sets you free, you really will be free. Or in other versions, you are free indeed. Free doesn't mean that you don't return to the prison occasionally. It means that the doors are locked. Free means you're not romanticizing what destroyed you. And in 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, this person is a new creation. The old things passed away, behold, new things have come. God didn't remove alcohol so that I could become a more disciplined version of the man I used to be. He's rebuilding me into a more honest husband, a present father, a dependable man, a Christian who no longer has to hide behind that counterfeit image. And he can rebuild you too. But you have to stop negotiating with what's chasing you. Stop protecting the secret. Stop calling bondage just one. Stop begging God to restore a life that he's trying to replace. Your old life isn't waiting for you. Your new life is calling you forward. So good people, tell me in the comments. We got 6 lessons. Which of these 6 lessons took you the longest to learn? And if you're still drinking, which one are you finally ready to face? Peace and God bless.